Hi class, today we're going to continue with translations. We went a little bit into it, but we're just going to continue on with that. So remember, translation is a movement. Our whole chapter is about movements, and translation's the most basic one, and that's just where it's going to slide. Slide means it can go left or right, up or down, but it doesn't turn or changes, it doesn't change size or shape. So an example of that would be this star right here. It can slide right, it could go left, it can go or up or down, doesn't matter. What it cannot do though is it cannot increase size, it cannot, its shape can't change. So that's a translation. And we're just going to go a little bit deeper. There's going to be a few spots where I'm going to have you stop and take notes so you can use those for your assignment. So first thing that I want you to write down is just coordinates. It's going to mention that in your book assignment today. And coordinates are just points. So just those two dots, your X and Y. And an example like that would look like 3, -4. That's a coordinate. Just remember that X always comes first and then Y. So here we're going to look at a little example. It says the verticals of a triangle are 1, 1, 2, -2, 0, -4. So we're going to plot those, and it's important you know how to plot. So remember, it's X first and then Y. If it's a positive number, we're going right for the X. If it's a positive number for the Y, we're going up. So first one, we're going to go right 1, up 1. Make my dot there. I'll label it as L. And I'll do my second dot, which is, I'm going to start at the origin again, and it says +2, so that's right 2, -2, down 2. So I'll do that one again. That's M, and then N says 0, -4. So 0 for an X means I'm not going forward or backwards. I'm going to stay where I'm at, and then I'm just going to go down 4. I'll make my dot down there. You're not drawing this graph, by the way. I just wanted you to write this. So now that I have my points, I could connect those lines. And I have this little triangle. It's not perfect by any means, but doesn't have to be. And then, so we're gonna move this, it's called a translation, and it says translate 2 units left and 3 units up. So for every dot, I'm gonna go 2 units left and 3 up. So for this first one, this L, I'll go 1, 2 over, up 3. That'll be my new one. And how you'll see it when you draw these as a new one, remember it's called an image or new shape. I'll draw an L again. Then there's this little apostrophe above it. So that helps you realize it's the new shape. So we'll follow the same thing, left 2, up 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Here's my new M, label it M, and I'll put my apostrophe. And then the last one, I could go left 2, up 3, or since I already have 2, I could kind of see the pattern from last time. This third dot, which is, I forgot to label N, is down 2, left 2 from that M, so I could go down 2, left 2. So either way you want to do that. And so now we've translated it. And the next thing it says, what are the coordinates? So for everyone, I just want to put the coordinates. So I'd write it like this. I do my L first. L is, it goes back 1, so -1 on the X, and then up 4. Then for the M, my new one, my new M is 0 because I don't go left or right. So my M will be 0, and it goes just up 1 from the origin, so +1. And then my N is back 2 from the origin, -2, down 1. So that's how you plot those coordinates. So you might see these written different ways when you in your textbook. It will say 2 units left and 3 units up. So that means we're going to go left 2 spots and then 3 units up. Well, it can also be written like this. It might say x minus 2, which is the same thing. Remember a -2, if you're going negative on the x, that is left 2 spots, and then you'd still go up your 3. So just as a reminder, I'm going to have you draw this table in a little bit, just not yet. If I was looking at just my x's, a positive x goes right. A negative x goes left. For the y's, a positive goes up and a negative goes down. So just as a reminder. So -2 means I'd go just left 2 spots. +3 means I'd go up 3. So here would be an example. This is what you'd put down in your notes. I have a little star there, let you know that I want you to write that down. This question and this little graph. It's the same thing as this graph that I'm going to do now, but it's a little easier, so it doesn't take you long to put in your notes. But it says draw the figure after the translation. So x is a +2. So remember, +2 means 2 right. It's positive direction. So I'm going to move each dot 2 over and then +3. So +3 on your y means up 3. So I'm going to go right 2, up 3. And that's my new A. I'll draw an A with an apostrophe. You can put a little apostrophe here too, I suppose, to show that it's new. But that's what I was trying to show. X plus 2 means 2 over. Y3 means 3 up. So I do the same thing for all my letters. Right 2, up 3. And my C, right 2, up 3. And I have my image. Remember, image is the new shape. Really, we only have one shape here. We moved it, so it's like this one's not even there. All right, so make sure to get this in your notes. If you have to pause the video to make sure you get it, we can do that now. All right, so next and this one's going to go in your notes too, describe the translation of the point of the image. So remember, the image is the new one, and we know it's the image. What this is trying to show, this arrow is, this is what this one's going to turn into. This is the new one. So it started off as this 1, 2, and now it's this 4, 3. And we want to describe it, but without using the graph. So that table that I said you were going to draw earlier would be right here. If I'm looking at my x's and I started with my positives, remember my positives going to go right. In this one, we're dealing with only positives, but our negatives are going to go left for x's. And then for y's, it's going to go up for positive, down for negative. So we want to describe what's happening from this dot, this is one dot on a graph, to the new spot that it moves right here. And the way that I do that is I'm going to look at my x's first. So I'll pay attention to my x's first. 1 to 4, I have to see what's happening to them. So from 1 to 4, you have to think if I'm increasing or decreasing. In this case, I'm adding a +3. So when I write that first part, if it doesn't move, then you wouldn't have to put anything for x. If it was 1 and 1, you wouldn't mention anything, but so I'll put a transition. I'll put x plus 3. And then I have to do my y's. So I'm going to look at my y's and I'll do the same thing. I'm going to pay attention to what happened to my y's right here. I should use a different color. Pay attention to what's happened to my y's here, from here to here, from 2 to 3. It is going +1. So remember, a positive for the y means up 1. So you could write it like this, or you could say, to describe it, you could say up 3 units, or I'm sorry, right 3 units, because you're talking about x, and up 1 unit. That's your y. So you're going right 3, up 1. And then if I have a graph, I can check that. You didn't have to. So go ahead and pause that if you have to get that down. That will be the last thing that you're actually going to take down for notes. So remember, find the change in x and then the change in y. But to see what that would look like if I actually did do those dots and I had a graph, I would start off with 1, 2. These are the same dots that we just did. So I'll start off with 1, 2. So I'll go right 1, up 2. That's my first dot. And then 4, 3 would be over 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, up 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we can see that that's true. The transition said I went right 3 units. So right 3 and up 1. So that's how that looks. And then here's just a random picture of Mario. You're gonna have a question like this in your assignment today, but it's just gonna talk about the arrows, the new image, that's the new spot, and it's gonna tell you what he did. So he went up 2 units and right 6 units. And then here's actually gonna be your assignment, page 52 through 53, 4 through 15, 16 through 21. So make sure to write that down, put it at the top of your paper. And then before I go, I just wanted to remind you that you can use Google Classrooms. I'll post this video on here, but there's also other videos to help you. So you go to classwork. I don't have it up yet, but obviously it'd be at the top with today's date. And then you can also scroll down here at the bottom of classwork. There's math book videos. You can click on that. It links you to the site. And once you're at this site, you go choose program. We want to do Common Core Middle School. We want to pick our blue book that you'll be using. Double click on that. Select our chapter. We're on 2.2. So we'll select chapter 2, section 2.2. And they have 3 different examples. So you kind of want to see where you're struggling at. And then just click one of the videos. I'll do example 3. And you can just watch through the videos if you have questions. So they have different examples. All right, and that's all I have for you.